From Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, this is Techies Today, the Purdue Polytechnic podcast. I'm John O. In fall 2019, a special presentation was held outside on Purdue's campus near the Potter Engineering Center, right next to the Michael Golden Labs and Nuclear Engineering buildings, both of which will be torn down soon to make way for the new Engineering and Polytechnic Gateway Complex. Two connected buildings will be constructed on the site during the next 2 years at a total cost of $140 million, including $60 million from the state of Indiana, a $40 million grant from Lilly Endowment, and other private donations. After the presentation, Gary Bertoline, Dean of Purdue Polytechnic, talked with media about how the new buildings will support the growth of the college and why Lilly Endowment's generous support has been crucial to the college's transformation. But first, we'll hear from Purdue President Mitch Daniels, who said that Purdue Polytechnic's college-wide adoption of a transformed approach to higher education was a catalyst to the formation of the Gateway Complex project. He also thanked Clay Robbins, Chairman, President, and CEO of Lilly Endowment, whose support is enabling the new buildings to be completed much sooner than President Daniels and Purdue's Board of Trustees originally anticipated.
We have a lot of great days at Purdue University. We don't have any day more joyous than this one, and don't expect to for a while. Not just for the immensity of what it means to our future and the tremendous generosity of the endowment in making it possible, but for its centrality to our long-term goals and objectives as an institution. Let me just say a few words about about the achievement and the tribute I want to pay internally, and then to our external partners, and then just a word about our dreams and ambitions for this, what will be on this site. Visible to me, but not necessarily to people outside our university, is what an incredible achievement just the concept of this gateway is. I'm talking about the collaboration between our two largest and principal STEM colleges, engineering and what is now the Polytechnic Institute. And take it from me, first of all, the reformation, the modernization, the new theory of the Polytechnic Institute, the former College of Technology, under Gary Bertoline, our dean, was to me one of the superb acts of academic leadership I ever expect to see, to bring along large numbers of faculty and others in a genuine transformation. That's an overused word these days, but they did this, and to create a whole new approach to teaching what they teach, which is now being studied, and we're getting visited all the time. It's a national and international model. And no one here should overlook or underestimate what an incredibly difficult thing that was. Gary, what a great thing you've done, and it's a precondition to what's happening here today. Meanwhile, our new superb dean of engineering, Meng Shang, who has led us already to so many new successes, new initiatives. The two of them together have brought these colleges together in a way I just promise you that we'll have a physical embodiment of the collaboration between these two great ways of teaching STEM is something that I just wouldn't want people here to fail to notice. So to each of you individually for what you've done in your colleges, but for the new team spirit and cooperation that you have brought about, which will be now physically reflected in the Gateway Complex, I cannot thank you enough, and I'm sure the group agrees. Next to our friends from the Lilly Endowment. God smiled on Indiana the day that Colonel Eli Lilly survived the Civil War, came back, planted his roots, and decided to start a little business. And from that business grew one of the great successes, and eventually one of the great family fortunes, which they then turned overwhelmingly into philanthropy to do good for others. And the long record of this, I think, finest of American foundations is there for you to read if you haven't studied along the way. I will just say, before coming to this particular gift, that to me, the endowment has long been a model of integrity in philanthropy. They have remained very faithful in a way that others, sad to say, have not, to the instructions, the mission, the charter they were given. And thank goodness, among the three principal pillars of that charter was community development, which in the modern age translates often into economic development. And this state would not be close to where it is economically if not for their wisdom and their forward-looking insight over the years. And then they've backed that up with intelligent, well-crafted, catalytic contributions. And Clay, to you and all your colleagues, here again, you have favored Purdue with a very substantial and essential bit of support. This complex doesn't happen, at least not for years. We're going to have this building on this site 2 or 3 years sooner than the trustees and I thought we could because of you and the endowment. And we take very, very seriously the obligation to generate and extract every nickel of value we can, every new student, every new invention or discovery that can possibly come from this gift. So we cannot thank you enough. To the extent we can, it'll be through the work that happens over the years. We're going to get this building here as fast as we can. We're going to fill it up instantly, and we're going to try to make the very most of it. Thank you, Clay, and the endowment for making today possible. And then finally, just a word or two of embellishment on, in the age in which we're living, if you're paying any attention at all, you'll see that at the core of successful economic growth and the expansion of opportunity for large numbers of people, you will almost always find a research university. All the centers of the most activity have that in common. And we at Purdue therefore believe that our day has really come. For all the great history we have, for all the contributions, the important role that Purdue University has played in the life of this state and beyond for a very long time, for 150 years, I really believe that now is our moment. Why? Because the things at which we are especially good at here, the things that are represent the largest share of our teaching and of our research, things we loosely group under this term STEM, those are the drivers of the modern economy, and certainly of an Indiana economy that is so strong in manufacturing and now in information technology and life sciences and new sectors. And so this is our time. The class that graduated this year had 64% of its members studying a STEM discipline of one kind or another. That is one of the highest percentages in America. And again, measured against a very large student body, the largest we've ever had, reflects in absolute numbers probably the largest total of STEM graduates at any university anywhere. And thanks to the endowment and everyone else who makes this project possible, those percentages are going to go up, and our total numbers are going to go up, and our contribution to the economic life of this state and places elsewhere are going to go up with it. Tippecanoe County, Indiana led the nation last year in per capita income growth. And that is not an aberration, that is not an accident. That, however, is a reminder to us of what we can do right here in terms of the jobs we do every day, what we can do right here in terms of the new startup companies, the businesses we can attract like Saab, Rolls-Royce, and others to come and grow here because they'll be close to the graduates of this facility, because they'll be close to the researchers who will teach those young people. We can be, and in fact we must be, a major economic engine for this state. And through the Gateway Complex and the indispensable help of the Lilly Endowment, there's every reason to believe we're going to be. Thank you all for being here and for helping us celebrate a really great day in Purdue history.
That's Mitch Daniels, president of Purdue University, and now here's Dean Gary Bertolini as he spoke with media.
This is a transformational facility that we are getting in collaboration with the College of Engineering. This is the first new building that the Polytechnic has had in a couple of decades. We have had and experienced tremendous growth over the last few years, and we really need this space to further transform our college. Most of our 6 programs will have space in this facility. So we have programs in construction management. We'll have a big piece of it. Our School of Engineering Technology, also our Computer and Information Technology and Computer Graphics Technology. So we pride ourselves in the Polytechnic on a hands-on, application-oriented kind of program, and this is a teaching facility, so it will be filled with labs, with modern kinds of facilities, also virtual labs where they can learn online and away from a formal classroom setting. And so it really helps to, again, transform our college. For our college in particular, and I know with engineering, we are still on a very high growth rate, and so we continue to hire faculty. We actually have a lot of faculty we've hired over the last few years. And so we need more space for that. So we are growing in every dimension, faculty, staff, and students. Lilly has been amazing. We went to them 4 years ago with this idea of transforming the College of Technology into the Polytechnic, and they gave us quite a bit of money then. We kind of proved that this was happening, and so we went back to them and said that we really need to accelerate our efforts, and they were very open to this, and this would not be possible. I cannot thank the Lilly Endowment enough for what they've done. Most people think a building, especially on an academic campus, is for classrooms. And yeah, we're going to have some of those. What most people won't understand is this is a transformational kind of building where we are going to be doing cutting edge kinds of things when it comes to teaching and learning. And the activities that are going on there will be unlike anywhere else in the nation. And so you really need to check back in a few years and see what we're doing, because it is an amazing kind of learning environment that we're building for these students because of the Gateway Complex. This is a great opportunity for Indiana business and industry also, because we have facilities that are specifically set aside so we can bring in Indiana companies. They will be right in the building interacting with the students and the faculty. And so that's a unique feature. We call it the Hoosier Hot Corner. In addition to that, we are preparing many more STEM graduates, many of which stay in the state of Indiana. And so there's a huge benefit to business and industry. The Industry 4.0 is going to be embedded in this facility. One of the unique features is something we're calling the Learning Factory. And that's where students will actually go in and they will design and build a product, but it's all around the Industry 4.0 technologies. So we think we are going to prepare graduates, especially in the manufacturing area, better than anyone in the nation, if not the world. I can't overstate how important it is of the collaboration between the Polytechnic and engineering. That actually is a very unique attribute of Purdue University, and we haven't really worked that closely together in the past. But because of the unique nature of having these two kinds of colleges at a major research institution, it brings us all kinds of advantages for both programs. Engineering students get exposure to working with technologists and vice versa. And the same thing goes with faculty, and you can even say that about research. So the idea that we are going to be sharing a brand new facility between our two great colleges is something that can't be understated.
The Engineering and Polytechnic Gateway Complex will include 255,000 square feet of space, which is nearly 2.5 times more space than in the old MGL and nuclear engineering buildings. It's expected to be ready in January of 2023. Next time on Techies Today, Gazdem Kilaz, Assistant Professor of Engineering Technology, talks about turning plastic waste into jet fuel.
There is a big, broad class of products that we can convert those plastics to, but mostly pristine polymers, clean polymers that can be used as feedstock for multiple products, and of course, liquid transportation fuels.
Our podcast is produced at Purdue University in Purdue Polytechnic's Office of Marketing Communications. Our college is on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tech Purdue, and follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Techies Today. We invite you to contact us via email to techiestoday@purdue.edu. Our executive producer is Melissa Templeton, and I'm John O., editor and producer for the podcast. Thanks for listening. That's what's happening for Techies Today.